What I saw in Palestine when I was there was a completely destroyed terrain. Land that has been devastated beyond any description that any of us could ever understand. Even seeing it, I saw just a small portion of it, and I could barely comprehend the amount of suffering. I could barely comprehend the extent of the destruction. I could barely understand what I was looking at. How can any mind wrap themselves around every single house with invisible distance being destroyed? You can't. You can't. That journey takes Palestinians all the way from the beginning of Palestinians to today. In 1936, the Palestinians started a rebellion. And this rebellion, of course, started with a general strike, totally unarmed. And the Palestinians suffered tremendously for this. They were attacked by the British repeatedly. And eventually, some elements of the Palestinian society started an armed resistance, including a man named Izzeddin al-Qassam, for which the military faction of Hamas is now named. One of the things that the British did many depravities in Palestine during these years. But one of the things that they did was really interesting when I read about it. We have probably all seen, I would guess most, if not all of you have seen, video or photos of Israelis mounting Palestinians to the hoods of jeeps, army jeeps, American army jeeps, and then driving through Palestinian streets and Palestinian towns and villages and cities, using them as human shields, and then after, doing whatever they wanted with them. The Israelis call this the mosquito protocol. And the people who they use as human shields are almost always executed afterwards. I didn't even understand what was happening when this happened to me. When I was in Ramallah, way back in 2002, and was grabbed by some Israelis, put in front of their guns, and sent to open doors in the building in which I was staying at that time. Obviously, I wasn't executed, but many Palestinians have. The British used to mount them on what they call bonnets, their word for hoods, of what they call lorries, their word for trucks. And they would laugh and boast about driving these lorries through the highways or the towns with the Palestinians as their human shields, holding on for dear life. And then whenever they were done, they would hard brake. Palestinians would fly off, and then they would accelerate again, run them over. One soldier described it in his diaries as the lucky ones would die, and the unlucky ones would be writhing around when we had run them over. There is a straight line in depravity between the British, everyone who came between them, and the Israelis today.